Hey, Chris, check this out. Who do you think won this tennis match? Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili enjoying that retirement life. Manu tweeted this out today. Get these guys in the U.S. Open.
This is the Thomas J. Henry Sports Desk.
We are 6 days out from kickoff, and there's still no Ezekiel Elliott. The holdout continues. Will he or won't he be back before they take on the Giants? Nobody really knows. Over the weekend, a lot of back and forth, conflicting reports indicating they were close in negotiations to maybe back to square one. Either way, the real thing is about to kick off, and one guy whose contract is actually about to expire isn't concerned about all the noise.
With this team that we have here now, I think, if we just go out there and play together as a team that we've bonded into, a team that's been built here, I think we could do some really special things. So, I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about this team. We got a lot of guys that work hard and come to work every day, so I'm excited to see us play.
And look who was back on the practice field today. Wide receiver Amari Cooper, a great sign for the boys after he missed the entire preseason with an injured foot. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys need Cooper, and he's slowly easing his way back into a full workload. Still a little timid, but he hopes he's ready for Sunday.
I pushed it as the day went on because, it's just something about going against defense and live reps that just make you kind of forget about everything else and just want to win. So I think that was the best thing that could have happened, just me going out there practicing today.
So whether or not number 21 shows up, there will be a game on Sunday. The Cowboys opening up the regular season at home against the Giants. Kickoff scheduled for 3:25 on our sister station, Fox San Antonio. Meantime, over in Houston, Texans head coach Bill O'Brien facing the media for the first time since making 2 blockbuster trades over the weekend, including sending a former #1 overall pick to Seattle and several high draft picks to Miami to land left tackle Jeremy Tunsil. As far as Jadeveon Clowney goes, O'Brien says they just couldn't reach an agreement on a long-term deal. He urges fans to understand these moves were carefully calculated, understanding they may not look that way at face value.
We're also confident in the fact that we can't control what the outside world thinks. You said it. That's the nature of our business. It's probably taken me a while to figure that out, but it's the nature of our business. I think the best thing for us to do is go work hard, practice hard, and win.
It's not going to be easy on Monday night. The Texans heading down to the Big Easy to take on Drew Brees, Marcus Davenport, and the New Orleans Saints. An earlier kick than usual for a Monday night game, 6:10. The Roadrunner football team loves Waco. Their last trip just 2 years ago, they knocked off the Baylor Bears for the program's first win over a Power 5 program. This year, though, is going to be a much tougher task. Baylor has plenty of experience over head coach Matt Rule, or under head coach Matt Rule. Meanwhile, Frank Wilson's club trying to make sure that they stay hungry even after last weekend's big emotional win over UIW.
And so our ability to put this game behind us in its proper place, be thankful for the way that we played, that we resembled a decent team, a solid team with potential to be a good team, is a good thing. But we got so much work to do to prepare for such a quality team in the Baylor Bears.
Yes, they are a good team. UTSA heading north on I-35. Kickoff in this one, 3 o'clock on Saturday from Baylor's McLean Stadium. Still ahead, we're getting you all set for Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights. We're going to introduce you to one of the many guys to keep our eye on when Antonia takes on Sam Houston. Week 3 of the high school football season is upon us. District play is heating up while others are wrapping up their non-district slates. We're going to start in 28-6A. Our TNL's number 7 O'Connor Panthers taking on the Warren Warriors. Let's head out to Ferris Stadium. No score in the second. 4th down. Check out David Dodd escaping the pressure, and the lefty goes for it all. John Locke with the touchdown reception. O'Connor up 7-0. A ton of defense early on in this game. Warren trying to get something going. Anthony Cisneros to Samuel Stanford. Nice little game there, but O'Connor all over him. 28-0 in the third at last check. Same district over at Gus. Check out the Brandeis Bronco and the Marshall Ram getting all ready for this game. Jordan Battles doing what he does best. Through tackle after tackle, little stiff arm action, and then he dances into the end zone. Broncos up 7-0. Far from done. Next possession. J. Nova Rangel reverses field, and he's got a lot of green in front of him. 61 yards of it, in fact, as he houses this one. Brandeis all over Marshall, 42-6 in the third. How about number 1 Judson trying to get out to another 3-0 start? They're hosting Harlingen tonight. A long bus ride for those Cardinals. Mike Chandler the second keeps, takes off to his left. Yeah, you're not catching this guy. 22 yards to the end zone. Rockets on top. Then the defense comes up big. Jamie Galvin coughs up the ball. Traylon Payne scoops it up, and he's got a convoy of blockers with him. 50-yard scoop and score. Judson wins big, 39-0. A monster non-district showdown at Linhoff. Number 4 Clemens hosting Reagan, and it's the return of Rattler quarterback Travis Staley making his presence known. Oh, yeah. It's Staley to Zane Rabba. Beautiful ball for the Rattlers. But this, not so good. The ball sailing over Staley's head, and Derek Lewis. Catch 22, he's in. Clemens back on top. Then it's this guy, Max DiDomenico, one of the best players in the area. Little play action. And this one goes to Earl Tovar, and he's scoring. Clemens all over him, 28-7 in the third. Southside's out to a hot 2-0 start, trying to stay perfect, taking on Memorial at the Cardinals' nest. They go to the air. Alejandro Escamilla goes deep. Roman Mendoza. Look at the cutback. Big pickup there, and that leads to this. Quarterback keeps and scores. Southside added another touchdown later. Then it's the defense's turn. Joel Lozano looks deep, but he's picked off. Chris Camarillo takes it the other way for 6. Southside 49-0 right now in the fourth. Here's another 2-0 club for you. Our number 10 South San Bobcats hosting Georgetown, and they are on the move here. The option. Brendan Riojas getting it to Desmond Padilla just in time, and he gets way inside the Georgetown 30. Later, South San decides to go to the air. Riojas over the middle. Aaron Bizzle for Georgetown with the pick, and he gets this one over into South San territory, but a big stand for the Bobcat defense coming later. 4th down for Georgetown. They decide they're going to throw, and this pass, incomplete. Right now, close one, 11-0 in the third. Georgetown on top. Let's head down to 13-5, a 2-0 Burbank taking on Edison. Bulldogs up 14-6 at half and on the move. Toby Carodi, the senior quarterback, evading the pressure, firing downfield, and he has a man. Pulling this one down inside the Edison 30. That sets them up for this third quarter. Carodi takes off to his left, and he will not be denied. Touchdown Burbank. We got a close one, 20-18 right now in the fourth. Some other area scores of note for you. Johnson right now on top of New Braunfels, 21-14 in the third. Same score between Alamo Heights and East Central. Both these games in progress as we speak.
Cowboys to the Max is brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
All right, let's kick it up to the pros. We all remember the Cowboys' trip to the nation's capital last year. A Week 7 loss to Washington put them at 3-4 heading into their bye week. The ageless Adrian Peterson rushing for 99 yards in the contest. He sat out in Washington's opener last week, but with Darius Guice hurt, expect a heavy dose of AD on Sunday afternoon.
And AP, they call him AD all day, for a reason. And he's always going to come with tenacity. So we have to be able to match it and, exceed their expectations.
Oh, it's hard. He's a good one-cut downhill runner. So, getting offset edges and stopping the run on the quarterback, that's all we preach.
Max Sports wheels up to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. FedEx Field, the site of this game on Sunday. Cowboys-Redskins at noon. You can watch that game right here on Fox San Antonio and also catch our full post-game reports on Sunday night's Maximum Sports.
And now sports with Dan Lindblad.
Running backs are pretty easy to come by in the NFL, but it's still somewhere where you need a lot of bodies. Just look at the Chiefs roster. You got Damian Williams, undrafted, then ran for 313 yards in the final 4 games of last season. Darwin Thompson, 98 total yards as a rookie this preseason. And still, you bring in a guy like LaShawn McCoy. The interest noted on Sunday, officially announced today, LaShawn McCoy is a Kansas City Chief. He's played 10 seasons in the NFL, had his least productive work this past fall. However, in his 4 seasons under Andy Reid in Philadelphia, he averaged 966 rushing yards per season and 38 total touchdowns. Many are hoping McCoy kind of finds his fountain of youth in Kansas City. LaShawn McCoy is second on the depth chart as of now and could even see the field on Sunday.
You see the offense. I'm just trying to get in here and just fit a small role. These guys are rolling, and be part of that. I think have a great chance at a championship. You have to pick a team that you want to play for, And I think the best part about it is Andy Reid, who is one of my favorites, coaches of my NFL career. They're all on the same page, and that right there is special, and just to be part of that, and I think it's a realistic shot.
Labor Day is a great day for baseball fans, not only a day off of work, but it's typically a great day to get to the ballpark for an afternoon game. And if your team is in the playoff hunt, it also means that playoff baseball is not too far away. The Cardinals opening up a series against the San Francisco Giants, no score, bottom one. Colton Wong lasers one to right field. It gets into the corner and then becomes trouble. Dexter Fowler scores. Wong on his way with a triple 1-0 Cards. Third inning now, Paul DeJong back up the gut. Paul Goldschmidt hustles around and scores from second, and it's 3-0 home team. Now they've made some great defensive plays the past few days, and they wanted to see that streak continue. Harrison Bader, Dexter Fowler making it difficult on themselves so they can make the highlight reel. They collide. Thankfully, Fowler comes down with the grab. Adam Wainwright pleased with the effort. Cardinals win again, 3-1. The Springfield Cardinals putting a bow on 2019 in a game that might not mean much at face value. It could hold a bit of weight, though. Midland playing for a second-half pennant, and the Cards trying to avoid their first 80-loss season here in the Ozarks. Your final glance at Hammonds for the 2019 season. Pick it up in the third. Cards sniffing out the Hounds' hit-and-run attempt. And we have the old-fashioned strike them out, throw them out double play to end the inning. Home half of the third with a man on third. Juan Yepes does the dirty work, fielder's choice. That allows Connor Capel to score, and Springfield's up 5-2. But the heart of the game has been the Achilles heel all season long. It was that again today. Greg Dykman singles to right. Taylor Motter and Tyler Ramirez both scoring. Midland takes the lead, and on the very next pitch, Colin Thoreau, go Pokes. He obliterates the ball over the hill, through the trees to home plate we go. A 3-run bomb, part of an 8-run fifth inning. Midland wins that South pennant. Cards put up loss number 80 with an 11-6 final. So it's not ideal. Some bright spots this season, though, getting the final record of 60-80, first time that's ever happened. Dylan Carlson had a great season even after he got called up to Memphis. He was named the Texas League Player of the Year. 6 players had 10 or more home runs, and Randy Arozarena as well as Junior Fernandez made their MLB debuts in St. Louis. Well, they might have had a day off of work, but Cubs fans working hard at Wrigley. Look at that. That is a giant beer cup snake that they made. All wasn't good, it dropped once or twice, and then security came in. You can't do that. People are trying to watch the game, blah, blah, blah. But they would go right back at it. I don't know how many cups were used, but the beverages were flowing at Wrigley today. Just look at that.
I wish they had counted and that they would have told us how many cups. That's impressive.
Look how many beers they had to come up with the idea there. So obviously they were
one person
having
probably
a good
had
time.
most of that, and then, hey, I got an idea. Let's make
start
this.
And everyone joined in. Wow, very funny. All right,
Thanks, Dan.
By God, they're going to do it. Well, we have to drag them by the head of the hair all the way down from Indianapolis to the courthouse here. They're going to do it.
Or you could just talk things out and settle. That works too, right?
Option number 2.
That quote was from a terrifically bizarre press conference in July of 2018 when John Morgan and others from his practice introduced their case with 5 former U of L players suing the NCAA.
More than a year later, that case comes to a peaceful ending. The 2013 National Championship banner is not coming back, but the NCAA did bend a little in today's settlement.
Luke Hancock's Most Outstanding Player Award from that 2013 Final Four will be recognized. He, along with Gorgie Jang, Stephen Van Treese, Tim Henderson, and Michael Mara, will all have their stats and playing record restored. The players involved claim they had nothing to do with the basketball team's recruiting scandal that involved strippers and prostitutes, and therefore wanted their reputations restored. This does help that a bit. However, they also wanted the status of 2013 champions back. That is not happening. U of L will look to avenge last year's loss to Boston College this Saturday when the Cards host the Eagles.
Even with the quarterback situation still up in the air, U of L is the favorite to win. The Cardinals will need a better start than they had against Florida when they fell 21-0 in the first quarter. Head coach Scott Satterfield said a lot had to do with the team's mental errors.
If we can clean those up and we can, then we'll win some football games. I think that's what it's going to come down to. we're not good enough to go out there and just play and have mental mistakes, and we're not going to win very many games. We have to be very sharp mentally, play a clean game, then we can win some games. And when we do that, we're a good football team. When we don't, we're a really bad football team. So, our job as coaches and as players is really just to button up all that and continue to try to make less mental errors.
Eric, October is here, but let's move ahead all the way to the end of November. November 30th in Lexington, Louisville, and Kentucky will play. After what we've seen in the first month of the college football season, will either team be bowl eligible that day?
You started moving dates. I thought you were taking us to basketball season. So will either team be bowl eligible? For Kentucky, I think they will. I mean, it would take an implosion like we only saw last season at Louisville for Kentucky not to be bowl eligible, because there's a lot of bad football teams ahead of them on the schedule. Tennessee, Vanderbilt, go right down the line. A lot of games they're still going to be favored to win. They just have to figure out and commit to a course of action on quarterback. For Louisville, the bowl road is a lot tougher. I thought they needed to beat Florida State really to start thinking about bowl eligibility. If they can beat Boston College, they're halfway there, but they're not going to be favored in another game all season. That doesn't lend to you thinking that they're going to somehow come up and win 3 that you don't expect.
Yeah, it's a big off week for Kentucky. They needed it. They need to get healthy. They need to make a decision on what they're going to do at the quarterback spot, and then come back home and play Arkansas, probably their most winnable SEC game the following week. For Louisville, it's an even bigger week. They're playing against the Boston College team that they weren't able to beat last year, but this is their most, as you mentioned, most winnable ACC game. I think the Boston College and the Wake Forest games are 2 great measuring sticks that will tell how much the program has improved from last season to this season. We'll be there on Saturday to cover it. Just stay here at WDRB and WDRB.com.
IU's Michael Penix Jr. was named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week for the second time this season.
Penix completed nearly 79% of his passes for 286 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Hoosiers' loss to Michigan State last week. It was impressive given that Mike hadn't played in a few weeks, and this was his first true road environment.
Just really encouraged by the way he handled the moment, and it wasn't too big for him, and he's very poised and very effective.
Western Kentucky was able to put up 20 points against the best defense in the conference in their win over UAB. This week, they'll face the second best in Old Dominion. The Toppers had some costly penalties in their last game, 71 yards in all. With the pressure to make big plays against the Monarchs' run defense, head coach Tyson Helton says his team will have to play cleaner this week.
Those are the things that I'm disappointed in. Now, is our kids battling? Are they fighting? Are they all in? Are they doing all they can do? There's no question about that. But if you're going to be really good offensively, you gotta understand situational football, and that's the disappointing thing for us offensively right now.
Jeff Brom is dealing with a lot up in West Lafayette, including an injury to former Trinity star Rondale Moore. We'll have that story coming up in about 20 minutes.